Welcome back to Pretty Much Fine. We're your hosts. Haven't said that in ages. I'm Kat.
And I'm Carol.
I've just been getting right on into it. I'm like, whoa, here we go. So I definitely think the part 2 of Pretty Much Fine, my hardest comeback has been the intro for some reason. Like, I feel like I had it way harder in my mid-20s.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's like a tough, I feel like it's a tough thing to do. And you do bear that. That is your cross to bear.
It's weird that it's tough. It's like, what's up? But you want to start strong, you know?
Yeah. You don't want to lose people within the first, 2 seconds. Woof.
See, the Giggly Squad, Hannah gave herself, it's basically a challenge each week because she opens it with, hello, something gigglers. And that something is a G word.
Okay, that's fun.
So that's fun, and you always know you're open. I get the struggle of, I don't want to do the same thing every week. Mix it up, and then I'll just go to open my mouth and be like, oh, my God.
nothing comes out.
Coming out. And there's no audience, so what's going to happen when I got a real mic in my hands?
No, I feel like you'll be quick on your feet there. You got the pressure. Probably should have been snapping. Audio medium, I always forget.
I've been thinking a lot about that. I just want to quickly say, I'm kind of getting pissed off about everybody's issues, okay? Because I love the irony of that, as we are always coming to our core, anxiety podcast, complaining about my issues literally this entire podcast.
Yeah.
But it genuinely bothers me, the burden put on podcasters, creatives, okay? I want to do things like play with my balloons. I made you guys a beautiful little set for my birthday episode. I want to move the balloons. I get that sounds can be annoying, and I'm anal about audio for the most part. And listen, we're so broke, so it ain't perfect, but we'll get there
one day.
And it bothers me that you can't have any creative anything these days. I can't even sip my coffee without fear for my life. Can I just have that here and there?
I do. I hear you.
Can you just snap here and there? What's wrong with that? I love podcasts where they're the pre-produced ones and there's sound effects and you're in the story. I would love to get to that point. So, dear Lordy, let me do it.
I will say I've been listening to old episodes of one of my favorite podcasts from 2015, and it is a little refreshing. In the older episodes, you hear the beers cracking open. You hear
I like that noise.
Kind of background.
That relaxes me.
I do like it, but I do have a few things that I just can't, non-negotiables. Like someone eating on a podcast.
That's weird.
Hate it.
I don't understand that.
I know this is going to...
we're podcasting here.
This is going to bother you, but the ice clinking does bother me.
As I actually picked out my glass. God forbid I'm fucking thirsty.
It's fine.
Why is that a bother? Why
I just
is it
want to
so...
cut your sound. I want to cut your audio.
It's not a movie. It's not like I'm taking... How am I taking you out of it? How? Your host
it's not
is
that
drinking
you're
her water.
Out
is
of
that
it?
an issue as she entertains you and talks a mile a minute? Can she have some refreshment? I don't get it. The standards get higher and higher. They have that joke of they're making podcast equipment too cheap, but they're making podcast listeners too
picky.
Fucking picky. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it just bothers me sometimes hearing clinking, silverware. I don't want to hear I don't want to hear all that.
Silverware, of course. What am I
Not
chopping as I'm on my podcast?
Something I've heard that before. It's bothered me, someone stirring their coffee or they're stirring a plastic. Yes, that. Exactly that. Don't want to hear it on a podcast. When I'm cleaning and in the zone and listening to your conversation, I don't want to be ew, is she drinking something? Get back to work.
I couldn't understand less. Why can't she be drinking something? I don't understand. I'm listening to podcasts that I love, and they could do basically anything. I actually don't even mind the eating. One podcast I listen to, they're munching on their True Fruit, and I'm go for it, girl. But why is the True Fruit sitting out the whole podcast when it is a freezer thing? That's my only question. I get not eating. That's I've seen podcasts where they're chewing on fucking nuts, and that's still fine. I'm there, but I get that that's a line. I will not understand like why I can't take a sip of water. My only thing with podcasts that bothers me, which I was wicked anal about this in the beginning of ours, and I've lessened, but also we're so much quicker now. I hate pausing.
Yeah.
And I can wrap that into anxiety. A long pause, like not just like a pause in between thoughts. The long pause where you check to see if your Spotify like crashed or something.
Yeah.
But they were really just sitting there thinking. I don't like it because I have a lot of call anxiety. Like maybe.
Same. That happens to. Yes.
Yes. So when they pause and it's either my Spotify crash or someone that like a call I was expecting that I didn't want to get, but I knew it was coming is happening.
Yeah.
And then it's not, and then I had to go through the like spike of heart rate of my anxiety, and it's really just that my host was literally thinking for 5 minutes apparently, and didn't feel the need to cut that out when they have enough money to have like their own editor, which I'll never understand. Like, cut out your pauses. Hello.
I agree. I was actually just listening to a podcast today, and my boss was like at a doctor's appointment. She was out of office, so I was not expecting to get a call from her. So like when there was a long pause, my heart like sank. I was like, for some reason, I was like, who's calling me? It's not my boss. Like,
because it's like Pavlov's dogs at that point.
But it was just a long pause.
Yeah, just a long pause. And I just
I'm
don't
on
get
board
it. To me,
with you there.
To me, it's like you're already editing this podcast, edit out the long pause.
Agreed.
Be seamless about it. Even driving too, you stop and you're
Yeah.
distracted. And I'm driving. Hello.
I can agree with you there. We got to a point where we're on the same page again.
Yeah. Well, we'll always try to find that point, but like if I take a sip, I take a sip. Like this is like
no one's crucifying you.
This is a comedy podcast, and when you're on stage doing comedy, they pause and take a sip. But
True.
I guess we'll cut it out. We'll just we'll match up my pause with my sips.
Yep, exactly.
It just seems harder and harder to please people these days. That's my only thing. I just want to be authentic. I don't want to put on airs for you guys. Like, this is just my truth.
Yeah.
Just let it happen.
Living your true life, being your true self.
You'll probably never see me wearing mascara on this podcast.
I don't wear mascara anymore.
You'll get a little bit of a blush. But you're never going to get mascara. Yeah, your eyes.
Oh my God. Yeah. Can I talk about this a little bit?
Of course. What a seamless transition.
Oh my God. Okay. So I've always had super sensitive skin my whole life, dealt with eczema and all that. But I have just been having this problem lately where every single new skincare I try, any anti-aging, anything, immediate allergic reaction. Or like this time I found this eye cream and I loved it because it actually like depuffed. Like, you know how they say like depuff? This one actually worked. When I
see it. Wait, send me that, bitch.
Seriously. But well, I'm paying for it now. And then I used it for a week straight. I was like, I'm going to use the exact same products for a week straight. And then I'll know, like, these are my products that don't cause an allergic reaction. Week going so great. My skin was looking pristine. One day I noticed little red patch under my eye. And I'm like, that's a little weird. The next day, a red patch under my eye, red patch on my eyelid. Okay.
That's terrifying.
Wake up the next morning. Eyes like swollen shut basically. I have like 15 different eyelids because they're like folding over each other. I look insane. And it's so red, dry, itchy. It hurts. It's painful. It's like actually not fun at all.
And you don't panic because my anxiety, I am, Mom, I'm dying. I'm going blind. I'm never going to see again. That is where my brain would go. I'm going to never see again. I hope I can look at Winston for the last time. Like, I would be panicking.
No, because I'm just used to it and I know what I need to do. I need to book a dermatology appointment. I need to get an allergy test. But like I was saying to Kat, when am I going to schedule a day to take off work? Because you're there. It's a whole day. It's like 6 to 8 hours of sitting in a doctor. If you've never gotten an allergy test, you're a lucky soul. You sit in the room for 6 to 8 hours and they come in, prick you with a needle, leave you for an hour, come back, see if you have like an allergic reaction. So you just have like these little welts all over you from all your like little reactions. You're just like itchy and you're stuck in this doctor's office with literally no entertainment. I mean, back in the day when I was a kid, I don't know what me and my mom did. Like, we didn't have phones. Like, what did we do for the 8 hours? I don't remember. I just remember being so bored.
Magazines.
Oh, yeah. It must have been a magazine or something.
Looking at some People magazine crazy stuff going on out there.
But yeah, that was that's what I'm dealing with. It's not fun.
I don't get how you're just an anomaly on this podcast. That would be the most anxiety-inducing thing ever. And this girl, I'm like, yeah, what? You're like, I know what to do. This has happened before. What do you do? I'm pretty sure your strategy has been do nothing besides stop using the product. Like, you're just sitting there with your eyes closing shut. You don't have like...
Well, no,
so
it's
for
not like
skin
I'm
allergies,
dying,
it's just not an EpiPen situation. No one talks about this.
No, yeah, my throat's not closing up or anything. It's just like irritated skin. And I also have an eczema outbreak too going on right now. And
nerd.
It's all stop.
Kidding.
Literally stop, because I was bullied relentlessly as a child. So fuck you.
No, I'm absolutely kidding. Eczema. I have a few friends with eczema, and it does seem absolutely horrible. And I can't imagine being itchy all the time. That would drive me insane. And I actually am seeing a lot of eczema culture on TikTok.
It's a problem. Yeah, I have a
People are being seen. People are being heard.
I have a distinct memory of like playing outside as a kid at the playground. We get back to the classroom. I'm having an eczema like outbreak. And so I go to my teacher and I'm like, hi, I need to go to the nurse's office to get my eczema cream. And this little boy goes, ew, gross. I was like,
well, you don't even know what it is, I bet. There's no way he even knew what it was.
I know,
so sorry,
right?
There's no way a little boy even knew what eczema cream was.
I know,
so he was just sussing out. He was using contact.
He was like, ew.
Nasty. Wait, one thing I do have to do, if I was watching this podcast and I saw my closet door open behind me, now that's a bother. Anyway, yeah, you shouldn't have been made fun of, and I do think you should make some, well, on our vivacious TikTok, you should make some content about eczema, deadass.
Maybe.
And if you do the allergy test, I mean, I feel like I see this stuff online a lot, and yeah, guys, we're trying to go viral on TikTok. I'm not here to hide that. I'm not here to not. I will show you our marketing strategy. I will talk strategy with you right here, right now, every day on this podcast. Because I also think it's fun. I hope one day we listen back and we're like, that was adorable. That worked. That didn't.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. Like, it's the process, guys. It's the process.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's get into it, shall we?
Yeah, well, speaking of going viral.
Oh, baby, she did it.
Should we talk about our main topic for this episode, which is this article that was in the cut about Liv Schmidt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should. And listen, everybody, I'm going to talk to you right now. If this is not something you want to be a part of or feel that your insides, your emotions, no harm, no foul, no hate on that. If you do not feel like this is a topic you can handle without like wanting to hate us, and we're so lovely and so wonderful, and we are just here to talk about something that is near and dear to both of us as women in this world. 3 decades in too, so like we've seen things, we've gone through things.
True.
We've had issues ourselves, and it's no light topic in any shape or form, as we like to do. But it is important, and it is something we are both passionate about, and with passion can come upsetting people. So I just want to say, I love everyone, love you all, hear you, see you. Just know this is without intention to hurt. It is only intention to be like, how the fuck did we get here, you guys?
Yeah. It definitely could be triggering, though, what we're going to be talking about. So if you feel like about
trigger,
for
you've
eating
been warned.
disorders, so yeah, be warned. If you're not in a good place with that, maybe come back at another time.
Yes, we understand, and we still can't wait to have you back.
Okay, so if you don't know who Liv Schmidt is, she started out posting on TikTok, and she made content that was all about weight loss, and not just weight loss, specifically getting skinny, not getting like healthy, not getting fit, like not losing weight for your health, but like getting skinny. That was her whole brand. She kind of like started the boom of like skinny talk that's sort of taking over, you could say.
She is a trailblazer in the world of TikTok now, adapting to, as you'll point out, issues that have already been. Trailblazer wasn't the right word either, but like you know.
Yeah, like she was the first person to like get on TikTok and like not get banned. So I have a little bit of like a confession to make.
Confess.
So early like 2023, I was not in a super great place mentally, like with my weight, with my body image. And I had gained a lot of weight after going through like a period of like really great recovery, because I've touched on this slightly before on the podcast, I'm pretty sure, but I've struggled with like disordered eating since a long time, since I was in like 7th grade. So I had like this really long like period of recovery, and I gained a lot of weight, and then like kind of I sort of reached like a point where I was like, ugh, and the disordered thoughts like kind of started to creep back in. And so I sort of went through a period of like becoming super hyper fixated on losing weight because of my past, which we'll kind of get into and talking about like Tumblr and like media, like past media and stuff like that. But because of that, like I kind of knew like the easiest way for me to lose weight personally would be like to consume some kind of content that I knew would like trigger these like disordered thoughts. So I was like looking up like weight loss stuff on TikTok, on Pinterest, and I came across Liv Schmidt back when she had like 100 followers. Her videos were getting like 200 views and had like 10 likes.
You were there in the beginning?
Yes. I literally saw her come up, and I'm here for the fall 2 years later.
Oh my God, Carol always follows people that I only learn about when the downfall is happening.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you've internetly known of this person for 5 years, and I'm hearing of them now. You always impress me with we're going down different holes.
Yeah, like
your holes are fascinating.
It's a symptom of being chronically online, like from a young age. Really and truly.
Happens.
But yeah, I feel like I know all about that. So yeah, I remember like seeing her videos come across, and like at this time I literally made a specific like TikTok for this purpose, like so that I could just have a TikTok where I could view like dieting type content, because I was like, oh, I can just log into that and then like pop over into my normal one when I want to consume other stuff, so it doesn't just get like completely taken over. So I was like,
she's so organized even with her.
Literally.
I cannot. I'm not okay from that. Not rushing over that.
Yeah, now I'm realizing how weird that is.
But I get it, because you can really funk up an algorithm.
Exactly. You know? Okay, so I was getting all kinds of crazy stuff served to me because of the content that I was interacting with, right? Because I was interacting with like Liv Schmidt type content.
Are there a lot of Livs out there? She's just the most popular one.
Yeah, so there's people every single day posting which is what she makes. It's called pro-Ana content, pro-anorexia. And it's just glorifying, that's like the definition of what her content is. It's glorifying starving yourself. And
there's a nickname for it?
Oh, yeah, honey. I actually have something else.
I'm gonna learn.
Later on, we're going to get to it. Yeah, there's tons of people posting content, this kind of content every single day. It just doesn't get picked up, or if it does get picked up, it's immediately banned. Like your account gets banned, your content gets deleted. Like there's heavy content moderation on every single social media platform as of today in 2025. Like I think Twitter is still where it can live free because there's zero content.
Could get heavier for all involved. This could be filtered a little bit heftier in all areas.
Yeah, but Twitter is like, there's no content moderation really over on Twitter. So like, I'm pretty sure that there's thriving like pro-Ana content there. But TikTok, like it's for the most part, you can't post anything because it'll get banned. You'll get banned or your content will just get deleted. But for some reason, she was able to avoid that. Like her content never got deleted and never got banned because she would always kind of go under the guise of like, it's just portion control. Like just eat, what you want, but eat less of it. And that on the surface, like doesn't sound like that bad of advice, right? Like that seems kind of like not that insidious, not that bad. And it sounds easy. Like, okay, well I can eat whatever I want. I just need to eat less. But what she was advocating for was seriously what I eat in a day it started off every morning with like her electrolytes and lemon water. And that was all she had. And then for lunch, she would get a salad with chicken and she would eat half the chicken breast and half the salad. Like that's literally less than 300 calories. Okay. And then she would also say that she was on her lunch break. Like she would walk like at least a mile or whatever on her lunch break. So it's like she's coupling this with like exercise immediately after her meal, and she's like advocating for you to do that too. And then her dinner would be like, she'd go out to dinner somewhere in New York City, and she would be like, here was what I had, this was my entree, I had 3 bites. And it's like, okay, when you're like counting the bites of food that you're taking and like that's all you're eating for a meal, like that's incredibly disordered. It's not okay. But for some reason, no. TikTok, it didn't pick up on it, even though I know people were definitely trying to flag them down. I think they saw she was getting really good views because she was. And they were like, okay, well, this is keeping people on our app for longer. Maybe we'll let her get away with it for a little while.
Well, she also has everything on her side, if you will. Like, girl in her 20s in New York, can't say she's not a beautiful girl, whether she's spewing disgust. And, you know, I don't know about her, like, income, if she was well off before monetizing or not, but, like, you just look at a young girl in New York who's super skinny, and you're like, that could easily drag you into it all. Yeah.
And that's what, like, this article kind of talked about how what she was doing. She was using Meta's premium subscriber service. It's kind of like a Patreon to have a private group chat where people would pay $20 per month to join this group chat where she would like talk about the easiest way to starve yourself, like, you know, how are you staying skinny this weekend? And then people were coming out and talking in the article about how, of course, because eating disorders are such a competitive disorder, the group just became so insidious immediately because it was like everybody was in competition with each other. And they were talking about, this one person was saying they were struggling with binge eating, and they were posting the meals that they were eating, and it was seriously just vegetables, just a bowl of vegetables. And this was like what I ate today. And people were like, you go, girl, you got this. Like, that was what was happening in this group chat. She was making over $100,000 per month in this group chat.
Holy balls, to ruin people's fucking lives? That's insane.
Seriously. But one thing that I just kind of wanted to like talk about is about how this is just like nothing new. Like, back when I was younger, it was like all on Tumblr. Now Tumblr's like has more heavy content moderation. But back in the day, if you don't know what Tumblr was, it was a time.
Wake up, sister. Tumblr is everything, darling. Even Miss Taylor Swift herself was a little Tumblr hag. She'd be out there finding her fans, messaging them a lot of lore, a lot of Taylor lore on the Tumblr. And you were not that bitch if you did not have a Tumblr. So true. It was like the cooler version of Pinterest. It was like a Pinterest, but your blog. So which Pinterest is more of like, these are like pictures I like, and it was definitely more of like, here's my little Facebook if it was Pinterest almost. Yeah,
it's like people would post like aesthetic photos and texts. You wouldn't pin things, you would reblog them, and you would take other people's blog posts and like put them on your blog if you liked them. But they were like photos mostly. It was mostly photos, I feel like. I remember. But there was zero content moderation, and so the eating disorder community really popped off at the time. And
all the pictures on Tumblr would be like, when you're younger, the body that you like personally, that I was always just fucking fighting my genes for, which is like either a girl like sitting by the lake with like manly legs, and like it's her tiny little like hot dog or legs and it's all, or like a girl's abs, like everything that's all over Instagram now was like artsy on Tumblr. So I get how it was bred there, because I would save pictures of like, I look like this. Like,
exactly. And it can be like kind of like innocent-ish, you know. At first it's like, oh, like I just like this picture, I wish it looked like that, whatever, I'll save it. But like then there's people like me where I was like going down this rabbit hole at like a super young age, consuming this like pro Anna content, and like the kind of content that would be on there was like the kind of stuff that I was reading in the article was in there, like lists of low calorie foods that you can eat with like how many calories are in the serving size, and then a lot of posts that would be like what I ate today, and it would be like a little cute heart-shaped bowl that had like 4 grapes in it. Like a lot of really aesthetic photos of like girls like with their bones showing, a lot of that, a lot of like lists that were like things to do when you're hungry, call a friend, go for a walk, chew ice, like crazy shit like that. Like stuff that can really be not good to consume as like a child. But that's like kind of the same thing that's like going on it's just on TikTok now. I mean, it's being mostly like filtered out, but I mean, for a while it wasn't, because she didn't get banned on TikTok for a while.
Obviously not. TikTok is literal cesspool energy.
There is still so much on there though.
Well, she crashed out on Instagram after like the article you're referring to came out, and she's like, there's so you're telling me all of this stuff can be on the app, but me talking about being skinny can't. It is fair that there is a lot of fucking nasty shit on all these apps, and we're gonna need to expedite the process that these big app owners could easily do and have more filtering, and they refuse to, because it will all come back to, and I'm sure when we wrap it up, that the culture is fucked, always fucked. But then I'm like, no, girl. Please stop. Please. I mean, someone help her, but let's remove her for sure.
On the surface, like, it might not seem that harmful to be like, oh, like, if you are on a diet, like, why not, you know, make a list of things that you should do instead of eat when you're hungry? Like, why not just eat less? Like, it's kind of like not that insidious on the surface. It's really, when you're in a bad like mental state, like your brain can kind of glob onto those things and become like completely obsessed with them in a super, super unhealthy way. But like, I do kind of understand the argument of like, well, you know, maybe you shouldn't consume the content, but at the same time, it's like, well, it's like just forcing it in my face at every turn. A lot of times, like, you can't escape diet culture. Like, it's everywhere. Like, I can't even listen to a podcast without there being like a Noom ad, you know? Like, it's like weight loss is like everywhere. Unavoidable.
Well, it's like also with her, it's the blind leading the blind. So even when she's saying like, this is just portion control, this is just this, it's like, you're not okay, so who are you to ensure me that what you're saying is okay?
Yeah.
Because you're not okay, babe. Yeah. Babe, you're not okay.
Exactly.
And that's like, I'm not trying to be like mean and like, you're not okay. I just mean the source has been compromised.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. The well has been poisoned.
The well has been poisoned. And like, I mean, I've definitely struggled with, like, I've never had like a full-fledged anorexia eating disorder, but I've had like the binge eating where I smoke weed and then eat all night, and then I wake up like, oh my god, I'm gonna gain 500 pounds, I better not eat all day. And that's my version of what I've experienced. So when I've gone on to my Liv deep dive, which was many years after your Liv deep dive, I feel like I don't remember her first scandal, which is just her whole page. But that brought me there. But I remember just going through it, and even that like unhealthy piece of my brain, there was moments of like, she is doing such a good job packaging this, like, to be completely vulnerable. There's a tip that I'd be like, wait, that's like not a bad idea. And that's my own issues, but that's how good she is at being like I know, I'm at least in a place where I know, oh my god, this girl is this big and she's talking about how her arms are large. Like,
that was
so upsetting.
That was a rough watch.
That might have been when like what went viral that led me down the hole. And that's upsetting, and you see like, oh, I get that that's the person that I'm listening to, but then like you keep going down the hole and there'll be like one video that you're like, no, not the worst tip, which is like, I don't mean that as a promotion, I just mean that as it is so susceptible. Like, you can't blame people for just being in a dark place and completely falling for her pyramid scheme, her skinny scheme.
One thing I wanted to say about her content too was like, what she did is like textbook quote meanspo, which is like another thing that was like big in the like pro Anna like content community, which is, it means mean inspiration, but it's like people would like be like, DM me and I'll like basically like bully you.
Oh my god.
To like make you want to not eat. Like, that was like kind of the thought behind it. And it would also just be like posts that would say stuff, and I literally remember she made a post that was like, you're not a dog, don't reward yourself with treats. Like, that is like textbook like meanspo, like the kind of shit that would be on Tumblr like back in the day. And I remember seeing that and being like, oh my God, this is like blast from the past.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Also, scientifically, doesn't work. Like, the meaner you are to yourself, you end up, like, at least for binge eating, it's like the more you're mean to yourself, the more you're just going to be right back.
Yeah, you just dig the hole deeper.
Eating all this cookie dough, sister. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of honestly the thought process behind somebody who has anorexia is like, I want to get triggered into my anorexia. Trigger me, bully me, like make me want to like starve myself. Like it's so sick.
Because when they're, weird, starving and want to eat something, they want to have that meanspo in their head of, I won't do this. They're right.
Yeah.
Like I was so close to breaking. Thank God. You meanspo. That I've never heard of that. I feel like I'm living under a rock.
Yeah, it was those were the dark ages. And like that's probably still exists. I do remember there was this one girl who would always pop up on my For You page. What was her name? It was something like Krabby Patty, King Krabby Patty, something like that. But she would like post that kind of like mean videos being like, you fat fuck, you better get up and go for your walk, like, or you're gonna be fatty this summer, like stuff like that. And she would go viral and people would be like, okay, going on my walk. But it's like, okay, this is like a slippery slope, you know, like it's dark, it's insidious, it's not good. It might seem like, innocent video just being kind of mean, but it's like it could really cause harm.
Twisted. That's upsetting in many ways.
Yeah.
And just to humanize I get when you're in a funk, as we talked about last week, and you want to get back on your routine and you want motivation, and like unfortunately in the human experience with all the shit that we intake every day, going to jobs, just expelling energy left and right, it's really fucking hard to consistently work out and like be healthy and take care of yourself sometimes in this dark twisted world where we do deserve fucking treats. Okay.
Yes.
But I will say myself, like I struggle with how people switch into like that positive motivation where they're just like, I need to do this for myself.
Yeah.
My motivation for like what should be taking care of myself is still motivated by like, well, it's summer, like I wanna
aesthetics,
be looking good, nothing insane, but just like I wish there was more motivation that could come from a healthier place, because I do feel like it's common to be like mean to yourself to motivate yourself. I've never recruited someone to do it to me, so that's legit fascinating. But I do think that is a natural instinct in a weird way, not that deep, but I see how it went there.
One of my biggest, this book I've read, Body Talk by Katie Storino. I've talked to Kat about it like a million times.
She wants me to read it so bad. And that's what she gets for never watching the shows that I tell her to watch.
Yeah, true. That's like my number one thing that helped me in like my recovery from everything. And the one thing she like touched on was that like, you know, you'll never bully yourself into like a version of yourself that you love. And one thing that she would always like try to reframe like the negative thinking and the negative thoughts around food and like body image and all that was like, put yourself, like imagine yourself as like your childhood self and like be like, would you say that to her? You know, like, are you really going to bully this little girl? Yeah.
Say that to her.
Exactly. It's like, no, you're going to stand up for her.
You're just the cutest little girl and you have no idea. All you know is like, can't wait to go to the playground tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then next you're inundated with bullshit and culture's expectations of what a woman should look like. You fucks.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we're still that same
contributing. You're fucked.
Amen. Yeah.
No, it's the same cycle. The cycle never dies. We had heroin chic, which was the Kate Moss culture, and then we had, even in our day, like when Urban Outfitters sold that shirt that said "Eat Less." So Tumblr of them.
Oh my God, yes. I definitely had that on my Pinterest. Like some girl like literally starving to death, like smoking a cigarette with that shirt on. Abs black and white. Absolutely, that was on my Tumblr. Without a doubt.
Oh my God, I can see it.
Me too.
I can see it.
Literally.
And yeah, it just recycles. Like so much does in the world, which is why we have history. So stop rewriting it, you sick fucking red ungodly looking president that we have.
I feel like with eating disorders, it doesn't matter. It's always been a thing. It always will be a thing because it's not even about the way that you look. I really do think at the end of the day, it's all about control and like that kind
That's actually a question I have for you.
Yeah.
Like eating disorders are so deep, which is obviously an obvious statement, but that's what's crazy. Like, it starts with I want to be like a pretty girl at school and be skinny, but then there's no way that's what it's all about, because by the end,
the goal
when it's really bad, your goal is no longer this bikini fucking
it never
ass.
starts out as the first goal. You know, the first goal, once you get there, it's like, oh, gotta move the goalposts. They're always going to be moving, like it, because it's not about the way that you look. It's about the fact that you're sick in the head, and there's like a part of you that's like, I need to control something.
Welcome to my island, bitch. do.
Yeah. So I think that like it doesn't matter. You could ban her from every platform. You could ban every piece of content of that to exist, and there's still going to be people with eating disorders. Unfortunately, it definitely doesn't help though, and I'm very glad that she.
It doesn't help having a captain.
Yeah, we don't need a captain for
and
the
she
ship.
shouldn't be making money.
Yes,
that is like key.
that's so
she should have
sick.
been demonetized ages
And
ago.
honestly,
That's disgusting.
I'll see you in hell, because what the fuck?
I'll see you in hell, sister. We might be there for different reasons, but
we might be there for different reasons, but I know your cell's gonna be a little bit hotter than mine. Okay.
I try really, 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 really hard, and it's very hard to get into her shoes, or like not into her shoes, but I try very hard to find the sympathy for her, because for me it's hard because she represents like a part of culture that I despise, and she has made herself the poster child of it, so I thrust all this anger I have towards her.
Yeah.
But if I could be humane and touch within the sensitivities of my human self, I feel so fucking bad for this girl. Like,
yeah, that's very true.
Her?
At the end of the day, it's just a very like sick person who needs
and I
help.
read I don't know, you never know what's true on like Instagram and TikTok comments, but I read that she posted that her boyfriend got her a croissant for her Valentine's Day, and she immediately gave it to a homeless person so she wouldn't be tempted to eat it. Like, you're doing all this, and like you have the boyfriend, you have the blah, you have
That's
the this.
So sick.
You're not even enjoying a relationship. Oh my god, you're not eating a croissant. You got on goddamn your man.
Yeah.
Fucking, he's a boy, and he's still. Listen, the bar is low, and you can't even enjoy like. A free croissant.
That's really, really sad.
But I actually have a question for you.
Go for it.
Which this is to continue on to the sensitive topics, but it's something I think about with this topic. What is your opinion on when people, and I'm just going to call them out right here, right now. I'm going to call out the big media before we even make it. The podcast, The Toast.
Mm-hmm.
They have like adamantly on their podcasts, which led me to, okay, I thought I liked these people, but I was being bamboozled. Like, I do not like these girls. They have like very strong reactions to when people are triggered, if they're talking about their body, and and they'll be like, it's not my fault you're triggered, like this is the world, you have to be able to live in it, you can't just be triggered by everything. And I do get the frustration of like, I can talk about my own body, like keep your shit to yourself, like that's not fair. I'm a woman too, I'm fucking going through it too, so let me comment on my body, like as long as it's not in the Liv Schmidt, what the fuck is her name? As long as it's, obviously it's not in the sense of like, this is how, like, here, my body, do you want this? So no, as long as it's just like, I feel gross today. Like, I can say that. It's my fucking body. I feel gross in it right now. Today.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm just saying as an example, like, but what are your thoughts on that? Because I think it's a tough line of like, yeah, you should be able to express your feelings and thoughts about your own self. What do you feel about being aware of things to have trigger warnings about, or just not, because we all are humans in this world, and like you can't really hide things from yourself?
I think it's really like a tough line, because I think that, like I kind of have been saying, like there's no real way to avoid it. Like, there's nothing you can do to avoid diet culture. Like, you can't even go to a grocery store without seeing, like, stuff. You can't go out to eat without the calories being printed on the menu. Like, you do have to kind of, like, just come up with your own, like, coping strategies for navigating the world. And you can't just...
You can't have a Demi Lovato where she's mad at the yogurt shop.
Exactly, like mad because they're like posting the calories. It's like they legally have to post the calories. But like I do understand, like there's been so many times I've been out to eat and I notice the calories on the menu and then I don't, like in the past, like I wouldn't get that item because I'd be like, no, it's too much. Now, like I just don't look at them. But like I have to actively like choose to do that. So I think that like it's really just a tough line. I understand why people do get triggered. It's happened to me before with like things that are seemingly innocent. I have gotten incredibly triggered by them and it's been like a struggle, but it's just kind of like something you have to deal with if that is your reality. You have to come up with coping mechanisms. You have to actively not consume content that you know is going to trigger you. And it's just like hard and it sucks. But at the same time, like I do think that there needs to be like some room for like inclusivity, I guess, where you can recognize that people do have a problem and like, because sometimes the things that they've said on the toast, I'm like, okay, that's like not okay. Like you shouldn't say that. Like they can just say things about like, they're so fat phobic. It's crazy. And it's like,
I'm sorry, but from what I'm picking up on, and I'm also projecting my own experience onto you, I'll be clear about that, but it just makes me feel like, no, but like you also hate yourself, so why are you being so mean to people that are clearly having insecurities?
Like them?
Yes, it feels like they're insecure, and they project that by acting like they're super not insecure, and like that bothers me.
Yeah, like they hate fat people is what I mean. You know?
Yeah.
Like they just hate fat people and they make a lot of comments and make very clear that like they don't like fat people. They think fat people are like less than, you're less than if you're fat. Like it's better to be skinny. Skinny is superior. You know, it's just like that's a slippery slope of thinking, you know, and like talking about that openly to your, you know, predominantly female audience. That's most likely the age range has probably got to be like 20s to 50s. Like that's a pretty broad range of women. I don't know.
No, because then it just keeps normalizing it, you know?
Yeah, like it
normalizing
keeps
being like, I need to be skinny.
Exactly.
Like, I don't even want it to be talked about on our podcast unless we're talking about a subject like this. Like,
yeah, they talk about it constantly.
Like, today's not a pretty day for me. But I hate even like intaking things where someone is just dumping like their insecurities out on the podcast, because be vulnerable, tell me what you're going through. But yes, they do it in a way where it's like sassy and rude, and I'm just like,
I will say too, one thing that they always say is that they don't have issues, they don't have mental health issues.
Yes. Oh, it drives
as someone
crazy.
Who has, when you struggle with disordered eating, you can spot it from a fucking mile away when you see somebody else who has the same problem as you. It's so fucking easy for me to tell because I know all the tricks of the trade, you know? So it's easy to spot, and I can tell you I can spot it on them so easily by the way that they talk about food, the way they talk about themselves. They always talk about food. They're obsessed.
And I think a good point to make about that, not to like point fingers and say you have an eating disorder, like I want to make that clear. I think a good point to make is how ingrained this shit is, to bring it back into our topic, that they can sit there confidently on their platform and say, we don't have a problem. Yeah. But then their problem is speaking for itself, like in between the lines. Yeah. And that's just like you're perpetuating so much and then normalizing so much, because then every girl is just like talking that way. Like,
yeah, I think it's very harmful. I think that it's just like something that's unavoidable though at the same time. Like it's always going to exist. Like women have, like, it's just our society we live in. Like,
yeah, and you can choose the people you surround yourself and the people you don't, and the podcasts you listen to, but
you can't control like the outside world. You can't control like I'm thinking like all the advertisements. Like every single New Year's, I'm like hiding from my TV because literally every ad is like lose weight, and like it's always really hard.
Now every ad is Ozempic.
I know, seriously. Seriously.
Where do we go from here? Do you think she'll ever be monetized again? Like, do you think she'll work her way out of this somehow, some way? Like, she'll just make a channel on, like, WhatsApp and add her Venmo or some shit?
I do think there's going to be a new social media app within the next 5 years. I'm sure she will have a thriving community on there. I think that there's no way to ever stamp out this problem. It's always going to exist as long as people have a place to share their thoughts. But yeah. I'm very glad that she was deplatformed. I think social media companies need to do everything they can to make this content as hard to access as possible, because while it will always be created, it will always be sought out, it's better to just moderate it and
make it less easy to
make it really hard to find so that you don't stumble upon it, because I think stumbling upon it is kind of what kind of made something click for me personally. So
because it can even, sadly, you could even feel like, oh, my community.
Yeah, it does.
I found them.
It does. Like, that is another thing, and that's why these group chats, like, they've always existed. Like, because it's a group of people all struggling with the same issue. And so
you justify it because you're like, well,
everyone
we're all
else.
doing it.
And but then you become in competition with everyone else. Like, it just gets so dark so fast. So I'm really glad
if only
it was
men
shut
could
down.
Understand for 5 fucking seconds.
Well,
like,
I will say lots of men do also struggle with eating disorders. I know a couple. I actually had a guy in my...
Not talked about as much.
Yeah, there was a guy in my college. I had classes. I had to do a public speaking class, and it was the biggest joke ever. I only did one speech. But the last speech, our professor didn't give us a time limit. She just said, do a speech. He went on a 45-minute speech about his personal history with an eating disorder. And while it was very, I enjoyed hearing about it. It was also great. I mean, at the time I was like, I've never really heard of men having this problem, you know? So it was interesting. And then but
at the same time,
my professor was like,
I had the option
okay,
for
speed it up for the next person.
Yeah, my professor's giving me like beautiful platform. I'm glad he spoke, but
45 minutes.
If I have the option, for it could be whatever time, it's gonna be 5 minutes. Yeah. A tight 5. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but I'm glad he said what he needed to say.
No, me too. Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. Who brought this guitar out? who let y'all Mare in here?
Oh my god. Well, I think we'll leave him with that.
We gotta end on a little laugh because it's been a dark one.
Oh, yeah,
that's true. Over pretty much fine arena. And very that's true. Okay. But I love Pretty Much Fine. I'm not biased at all, because we laugh, we get emotional, we get vulnerable, we tell you things that you could use against us one day. And I like that we ebb and flow our topics from silly to a little more sensitive.
Yeah, me too. I think that's the yin and the yang balance of us is always reflective within the podcast.
I also love a Carol-centric episode. I love when you take us away and you have your outline. It's my favorite.
I hope everyone else enjoyed. We have to do what soon?
The cult one where you just tell me.
Oh my god.
Honestly, okay.
Excited.
Idea happening live on the pod. I really think we should have like once a month an episode that's themed Carol teaches cat or something. Like that's a working title. Yeah, but you're so good at like, you've even told me so many like weird YouTube families beginning to middle to end.
Yes, Carol lectures.
Yeah, we'll come up with a way better title, but I think we should add that to the format list.
Okay, I'm so into it. I hope everyone else is too.
Well, you will be, because
it's happening.
Yeah. Well, tell them where they can find us gorgeous, stunning, sweet, innocent girls.
You can find us at Pretty Much Fine Pod on Instagram and TikTok, and Pretty Much Fine on YouTube. You can also email us at hello@prettymuchfine.com with your still stewing or survived it stories. If you enjoyed this episode, this podcast, do us a huge favor. Drop that link in your group chat. Share it with everybody. Tell them how much you love the podcast. And go on Spotify, go on Apple, leave us a review. 5 stars. Tell us what you're loving about the show. 5 stars.
5 stars.
Yeah.
Or else.
Or else.
Just kidding.
Love you. Just innocent girls. Nothing to see here, officer. I didn't kill a man. Draw the cat eye sharp enough to kill a man.
They never talk about what happens when you draw the cat eye sharp enough to kill a man and he dies.
I'm sad
All right,
Rep
I'm done.
TV
Wow.
didn't get announced.
Yeah, she's actually having fun. I love that for her. She's finally like,
She's
fuck.
literally
She's
like,
a schedule
fuck these
warden,
bitches.
just like you. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to spell out the AMAs in my website just to fuck with them. I love it. She's having such a good giggle. I would be giggling, petting my 3 cats. One that Carol doesn't agree with, the Scottish Fold. And just laughing it up, petting my boyfriend's back, as so many have come for Travis's back hair. You guys fuck off. He's a man. He's a man, baby. Let me pet my man's back.
Oh, God.
Listen.
All right.
Yeah, we're done. We're
We're
gonna let
done
you go.
here. Okay. Bye.